Alright, so welcome back. Before we begin today's tutorial, there are a few things that I want to adjust on a workspace. The first thing, I want to get rid of this minimap. So up here on view, appearance, and then minimap, I want to check off that, and then you can see we no longer have a minimap on our right hand side. And also I want to work in what we call the Zen mode. So view, appearance, and then you want to go to Zen mode here. Right, so as you guys can see, this is way better. We can see our code clearly and we can focus on only one thing. Right, so today we're going to work with rotation of our pieces. And so before I get into that, let me play this. I want to show you where we were last time. Now we can lock our pieces down here, but yeah, we cannot rotate those pieces. That's the focus of today's tutorial. Right, so I'm going to close this. So for us to be able to rotate these, I want to get into our game loop. This is our game loop. I'm going to initialize a variable here, which I'm going to call rotation. You can name it whatever you want, and I'm going to give it a value of false, which is a Boolean value. Right, so we're going to toggle this rotation between false and true, depending on whether we have pressed the key or not. And so for us to do that, we want to come down here, right, where it says pygame.keyDown. We want to check for a key down event. So I'm going to say if event dot key. We're going to use the keyboard up arrow key. So I'm going to say pygame.k uppercase K underscore up like that. Okay, and then what we want to do is for that rotation, we want to toggle it to true the moment we press this key. So we want to change that value to true. So this rotation over here, so this is what we're doing here. It's only going to change when we press the up arrow key. We also need to build the algorithm which is going to make sure that our pieces are going to rotate. Okay, so if you remember, guys, when we created these pieces in here, I mentioned about this first tuple being the center of rotation. So we need to target this, and then we're going to toggle, or we're going to change the X and the Y value, because these are X and Y values, right? So in our game loop, in here, just after the Y movement, you can place it anywhere in the game loop. I'm going to say rotation of pieces. So this is going to be a comment, and so control / Okay, so for us to rotate this, we need to access this first tuple. So for us to access this first tuple, we know that we are accessing our shapes via this shape variable. So shape, we want to access the first element, which is the 0 element of any shape. Okay, so that first tuple is the 0 element, and then we're going to assign this a variable. We're going to call this center of rotation. So I can call it COR, but you can give it any other name that you wish to. And then the next thing after we do that, we want to deep copy our shape. Control C. I'm going to copy that. I'm not going to be typing. Control V here. So we need to deep copy this in case we want to use this shape, this old shape. And so that's what we have done here. All right, so after we deep copy, we're going to say if rotation. So if there is any rotation to our shape, and so this is going to be determined by this value. So the rotation is going to take place each time we press the up arrow key. So this is what we are checking for here. Depending on this condition, if it's true, these statements that are going to follow are going to be executed. Okay, so we're going to say for I in range, and then we're going to say 4, right? Obviously, because there are 4 boxes that make up our piece. And so what do we want to do? We want to determine the new underscore X, and we also want to determine the new Y. So these are just variable names that I'm coming up with, but this is a new value of the X-axis, right? Obviously, when you rotate, you are changing the X-axis and the Y-axis, and so you need to come up with a new value. So the new value is going to be determined by our shape, and our shape I then dot Y. So we're going to assign the Y coordinate to our new X. We're going to subtract from that center of rotation dot Y. This is going to apply also for the Y-axis. So let me copy this and let me paste it down here. So this is going to be our new Y and obviously new y is going to be our x and center of that x coordinate. After having done this, we're going to say shape I dot x. Now we are assigning these values to the new position, right? So we're going to say center of rotation dot x minus the new underscore x. Similar with the y, so I'm going to copy this and place it down here, Control V. So this is going to be the y-axis, so the y, and this is going to be center of rotation y. However, we're not going to subtract, we're going to add. So any one of these could be added. So one has to be subtracted and one has to be added because we want to force rotation, right? So that's what we're doing here, so new y. All right, after we finish this, we need then to determine when we get to the edges. I'm going to copy this to paste this down here. We still want to check for the edges, and so this is what we're going to be doing. And so this is where we need the odd shape that we created up here. All right, so let me save and let's try and run this and see if it works. So run this. Okay. Up arrow, up arrow, up arrow. You can see our piece is rotating now. Yeah, so this seems to be working just like that. And up, yeah, it's working. As you guys can see, I'm playing the game. Obviously, we still have a few more steps for our game to be working. Like the normal Tetris game, but we are on the right track. All right, so yeah, in our next tutorial, we're going to deal with destroying a horizontal line if it's filled like this. All right, so I hope to see you in our next tutorial. For now, I'm out. Bye bye.